Hello, my Facebook peoples. Hello, my Instagram peoples. This is my first time going live on two platforms here, so this is interesting. I miss you too, love. All right, so am I live? Yeah, I'm live. I'm good. Okay, so we are talking about mood. First of all, let me just say that I'm going to be popping a link into my Facebook comment, and this is going to give you access to a free download that is going to give you all of these tips in a nice, pretty little package. And you'll also gain access to a couple of my other free content options that are not posted on social media. They are only through email and my website. So if you're on Instagram right now, definitely pop into Facebook at some point and check out the link that I just posted on my live video. All right, so let's do this thing. So when we're talking about feeling the funk, we're not talking about dancing and having a good time. The funk is that feeling that we get when we are experiencing maybe a little bit of depression. The funk can be categorized by your hormones shifting. It's just that general feeling of being down in the dumps. And sometimes there's a reason for it, right? Sometimes something triggers it. Other times you just wake up and you're like, what the hell's going on today? Why do I feel this way? A couple of other things that we can associate with this feeling is you're unmotivated, right? When you're feeling funky, you're just not wanting to do all of the things that you usually have to do. You don't want to, get up and get dressed and go to work, and you're just super unmotivated to do anything. Usually we'll experience a little bit of fatigue or a lower energy than what we might typically have. Hey, Therese. Hi, Kia Marie. So the fatigue, exhaustion, you're just super tired and you can't seem to lift your energy back up. You might experience a little loss of interest in things when you're in a funk, right? So maybe a good example of this would be, have you ever made plans with someone, right? You make plans to go out for coffee or go to the movies or go to dinner, but you wake up in a funk and you're like, I totally don't want to do that anymore. I made these plans and I really don't want to go. So that's, that feeling of just like, I'm not interested. I want to be alone, or I just want to sit on the couch and lounge and not do a damn thing. You might also feel bored or feel like, your day or your life is getting a little monotonous. So you're bored with just your day-to-day tasks and things that you've been doing. So this is the funk, right? Give me a 1 in the comments if you can resonate with the funk. We've all felt it, let's be honest. But drop a 1 in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. So why do we get into these moods? What's the cause? Sometimes we know the reason, other times it's not so clear, okay? But some of the common factors that influence our mood day to day are your environment, your thoughts, and your habits. Okay, environment, thoughts, and habits. These are like the 3 things that we really need to start paying more attention to. When we're talking about environment, that can mean a lot of different things, right? Your environment could actually be the weather. So the whole reason why I was inspired to give this talk was because the weather has been so crummy. The rain has just been nonstop, and we had 2 beautiful days, right? 2 gorgeous days of sunshine. And I noticed all the people around me, there was a pep in their step and they were feeling good. and then the rain came back. And from what I understand, it's going to stick around for a little bit. So maybe it's actually the weather that's getting you down. Hey, Chris. Hello, my Instagram peoples too. Another factor that influences your mood that has to do with environment are the people that you're around. Now, sometimes we can choose the people that we surround ourselves with. Other times we can't, but we'll get into that in a second when it comes to control. So maybe, you're going to work and your coworkers are all complaining about X, Y, and Z. That's going to bring your mood down. And if you were already in a funk when you woke up, that's certainly not going to pull you out of it. And then the other environmental factor is, where are you spending your time? So, for example, when I feel funky, when I am down in the dumps, when I'm just feeling like kind of depressed or a little bored with my life, a lot of times my old habit was to just go to the couch, right? Turn on the TV, sit under a blanket and chill and just like not do anything. And there's something really nice, right? There's something to be said about relaxing, but that was a habit that wasn't serving me, because it wasn't actually making me feel any better. In fact, it was enhancing my symptoms, right? It was enhancing the fatigue and the loss of interest. Being alone on the couch wasn't making me feel any more connected or happy. Hi guys, to everybody who just hopped on. We're talking about how to lift ourselves out of the funk, right? And the three mood factors that we're talking about right now are environment, thoughts, and habits. So, by going to the couch, by having that be the environment that I was keeping myself in, I was keeping myself in the funk. I was keeping myself in that low vibe mood. So we'll go straight to habits because that connects a little bit better. So the other factor that influences your mood are your habits, right? So what are some habits? Watching TV, negative self-talk, right? So when you're feeling funky or when you're feeling stressed out or anxious or depressed or down in the dumps, the negative self-talk might be something like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I always feel this way? I'm so depressed. I'm so anxious. Amanda, just pull yourself out of it. What is wrong with you? Right? All these feelings. Hey, Rachel, how are you? So the negative self-talk is keeping you in that funk 100%. The foods that we go to when we're in this mood, right? They call it comfort food because it tastes good when you're eating it, but is it actually lifting your mood? Most of the foods that we call comfort food aren't actually the foods that are going to help us get out of the funk, okay? So put down the ice cream and grab like an orange or something citrus, something that's hydrating is going to help. Another habit would be your reaction to things. So how do you react when you're feeling funky? I actually want to hear from you guys. When you are in a funk, when you are feeling off, what is your instinct? What is your reaction to that? Do you just kind of sit with it and deal with it and become complacent with it? Do you try to lift yourself out of it? Are there strategies or things that you will do to try to bring your energy levels back up to make yourself feel better? What is your reaction to these things? I'd love to hear from some of you about what it is that you do. For me, my reactions were never really all that healthy. Sometimes I would maybe go for a run, which is a good decision, and it always helped, but I was inconsistent with it. So the next time I got into a funk or the next time I felt down, I would be like, oh, I'm too tired to go for a run. Like, no, I'm just going to sit on the couch and go back to the couch. So your reaction to situations and your reaction to your own emotions is huge. And I can almost guarantee that whatever reactions you're currently having to your emotions and to your day-to-day feelings and to your funky mood are not serving you. Because if they were, then you wouldn't have to figure out how to lift yourself out of the funk, right? You probably wouldn't be watching this right now. Rachel said, complacent when it's really bad. Usually I try to use positive self-talk to refocus. That's amazing. So yes, you have to give yourself a little pep talk every now and then, which for most people is super uncomfortable. But guess what, guys? Whatever you've been doing, if it's not working, you have to let it go. You have to be willing to try new things and new strategies. Otherwise, you're never going to improve, right? You're never going to grow. Hey, Julian. Hey, Taylor. Oh my gosh, so many amazing people on here. Okay. And then the last habit, which brings us into our third factor that influences our mood, are your thoughts. And you knew that that was coming because I talk about thoughts all the time. I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this. Thoughts become things, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Thoughts become things. So what might some of your common thoughts be when you're feeling off? And these could be things that you're just thinking in your own mind. But a lot of times these thoughts become the negative self-talk too, right? Because these are all things that we complain about to our friends and family and coworkers and all that. So something that you might think is, oh my God, this sucks. Like I'm just feeling so crummy and I don't know why. And this is horrible. And I wish it would just go away, right? Or I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. If the weather's crappy and you're depressed or feeling off because of the weather, okay, I'm gonna like bring my mom up for a second, and if she sees this, she'll understand that this is a joke, but also the truth. So when the weather is bad, my mom has this habit of bringing it up literally like 50 times that day. So we'll be out and about and maybe it's raining, right? And I swear to you, you can fact check this with my husband, with my dad, with my brother. Every 5 minutes, she'll be like, oh, it's raining. This sucks. And there's an example of how environment might impact your thoughts, because when she's constantly bringing it up, I'm like, oh my God, this really does suck. And it ruins your whole mood. And I constantly have to tell her like, Mom, we know it's raining. We know that kind of sucks, but stop saying it, because the more you say it, the more it's getting you down, right? So when it comes to our thoughts and our habits and our environment, the good news here is that these three things are things we have control over 9 out of 10 times, right? 9 out of 10 times I can control my environment. So you're in a funk, right? And let's say it's the weekend, so you've got a little bit of flexibility. Instead of going to the couch or, just staying in the house all day, sitting with your funkiness and sitting with your sadness and your depression or whatever other feelings come up for you, instead of that, get your ass out of the house for a few minutes. Go for a walk outside. This morning, I was feeling just kind of tired, right? I woke up feeling tired. And whenever that happens, I'm like, oh, damn, like this is going to be a rough day. But you know what I did? I opened up the back door to let my dog out, and I stuck my head outside, and I just took a few deep breaths in, and I swear to you that like cured me. I felt good after that. I felt better. So you have to change your environment. Elizabeth said, oh, hey, Elizabeth. Yes, get your funkiness out the door. Yeah, it's true. Like literally, if your house or your bedroom or you're sitting on the couch with your computer, that's forming like a bubble of funk around you, right? You're just sitting in your funk. So to get out of it, you physically got to move from that space that's holding all those feelings and go somewhere else. Okay? And it doesn't have to be for the full day. You can go for a walk outside, go window shopping, go walk through Home Goods. That always makes me feel better. The point is you need to change your environment. Now, what if you're like at work, right? Because I'll get this a lot. Well, I have to go to work, but that's where like those feelings seem to come up for me. What do I do? What do I do? Okay, we can work with this. So what can we do? If you're sitting at a desk the entire day, which I do most days, I'm sitting at a computer. So what do I do to lift myself out of the funk? I need to get up. I need to take a quick walk around the office. I need to maybe step outside for a minute. I might go and find a coworker who gives me those positive feels and just have a quick chat with her. Not bringing up the fact that, oh my God, the weather sucks, I'm tired, blah, 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 but chatting with her about something fun or telling her a funny story or whatever. I have this one coworker who is obsessed with watching like funny videos on YouTube. And so she's always like pulling them up, and that instantly lifts my mood. Okay, so just because you might have to be in a certain location doesn't mean you can't like take a break or kind of shift out of it. My teachers, this works for you too, because I know I'm going to get some teachers like, okay, I'm in the classroom, I literally have no time during the day. I totally get that, but is there a coworker or is there a spot in the school where you can just like quickly, go and say hey to this person, or maybe there's a place in the school where there's like a lot of natural light that comes in that you can just kind of walk through. You just need to shift out of that environment momentarily. My Facebook Live is being all weird right now. I don't know why. For your habits, you can control your habits by creating new ones. Now, sometimes this is easier said than done, but you have to be persistent. You have to practice these things. Some people think that they're going to like do something once and they're going to be healed. No. You need to consistently do something to form a habit, right? So a habit that I've picked up when I'm feeling funky, I'll go to my essential oils. That's an instant lift right there. I grab my lemon or my Siberian fir or my lavender or my peppermint, and I'm good. I might turn the TV off and do a quick meditation. In the car the other day, I was just like feeling kind of overwhelmed, my mind starting to spin. The radio was on, right? We're always surrounded by so much noise. So what did I do? I turned off the radio and literally just drove in silence and tried to focus my attention on the road, of course, but also on the other sights and sounds that I was taking in via driving. So those are some really easy things that you can do to break an old habit and form a new one that's healthier, that's going to lift you up, okay? And then with your thoughts, we always have control over our thoughts. It's just sometimes we forget that. Other times our thoughts are so strong or our emotions are so strong and they fill up so much of our mind that it just takes a little chipping away, right? We got to chip away at those emotions and chip away at the funk and find the clarity. So, sometimes that requires, again, shifting out of your environment. Go grab a friend and get a coffee and have a happy conversation about something. Go online and start planning your dream vacation, right? Look at pictures of Greece. Look at pictures of Italy. Look at pictures of an island that make you happy and that make you hopeful and get you in that like happy dream state, right? So these are all ways that we can shift out. Okay, so bottom line is this. When you're in a funk, which we all experience, you're going to feel all the feels. Identify what those emotions are. What what is it that's making you feel weird right now? What are you experiencing? Acknowledge the emotion. You have to get clear on the emotion first. Then we're going to focus on the things that we can control in that moment or at that time. My environment, my thoughts, my habits. And you're going to take action. And you're going to take one small step at a time. And you're going to lift yourself right up out of that funk back into your happy state. And it might not be perfect, right? You might not feel like, hippy dippy. Listen, I'm not saying that I feel super high vibe every day. I don't. None of us do. Okay. Anybody who says they do is like not telling the truth. Everybody has their days, some of us more than others. But I don't let myself sit with that. Okay? I don't let myself sit with that. You gotta do something about it. So I hope that some of these tips help you guys. With the rain coming up, with all this rain that we're having in Delaware, I know New York's getting rain. Some of you guys are all over the place. Oh, hey, Heather. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Peyton. We're all over different states and different countries. But for me, knowing that these next couple of days are going to be a little gray and dreary, I'm going to have to go into my little toolbox in my mind and pull out a couple of things that are going to help me to get through those low vibe moods and keep me energized. And I know that it's going to work because I've been doing it for a while and it's never let me down. These strategies have never let me down. So with that being said, I am going to drop another comment on my Facebook with this special link so you guys can access a lovely freebie download that you can print out, post it on your freaking wall, and remind yourself of these things the next time you're feeling funky. If you're on Instagram right now, just hop on over to my Facebook page and check out the comments on this live video. Once you opt in, you will get a lovely personal email or Facebook message from me with the download and a couple of other free things that'll be coming your way. All right. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will be back in Anxious to Fearless this weekend. Sunday morning, I'm going to come on with another live meditation. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I hope that this helps some of you guys. So stop feeling funky. Go get back into your happy space, and I'll be back soon. Bye, guys. All right, now I'm going to awkwardly try to end 2 videos at the same time. This isn't going to work. Instagram first. Bye. Okay. Yeah. And Facebook second. Bye.